Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess. I'm here to do the bonus reading this morning. It's Wednesday. So I checked back to see what's had the most hits for the last, since I did them on the weekend. So it's only been maybe 2, maybe 3 days. And Sagittarius, you are this week's lucky bonus read. Over 1,000 hits since then. So Libra, you've held that spot for so long and now it's Sagittarius time. So Sagittarius, I'd like to help you out with what you're going to be looking forward to in the next week or two. If you like my readings, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you on board. And if they don't fit, well, you can always check, one of other aspects of your natal chart or just move on to another reader. Plenty of choice. So cards I'm using today are the Ellen Dugan cards. If you haven't watched the What's Cracking for today, I'd suggest you watch it. It was a very deep one today. Really quite affected me reading it actually, but very, very beautiful. If you do want to donate to my channel or do want a personal reading, ordinarily I leave everything behind, but underneath the screen, but because I'm doing these readings before work, I don't always have time to update with all my details. So if you need anything, you need to go back to the weekly reads because they'll have all my details in there. Well, Sagittarius, let's go. What's cracking for the Sagittarians? Oh, so a lot of you Sagittarians may be waiting on a water sign. This is the card of the King of Cups, who is, in general, represents water signs, so Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. However, I always say to people, don't concentrate that too hard, because very often this card represents more of the energy around a person or yourself. So it could be at the moment you're feeling very calm, very satisfied in your emotions, very tempered, feeling just, very comfortable with how you're feeling and what's happening in the world around you. He's not an overly emotional man. He can be a little bit cold because he's learned how to control those emotions. Not such a bad thing. We can all learn from the King of Cups. He's not as gushy as the Queen, but certainly a little bit more cool and collected than the other kings. He doesn't, speak out as much as the King of Swords. He isn't as passionate as the King of Wands, and he's certainly not as practical nor not as practical as the King of Pentacles. Not so focused on his material world. Maybe that's the best way to say it. So that could be the energy of you for today, or it could be someone around you that you're working with or waiting on. Okay, and the first card we have out is the Magician. Hoo-hoo. So the Magician talks about you being in a place at the moment where manifestation is very easy for you. It could be a time when things you've manifested come to you. So if you've been sort of, trying to manifest a new job, someone back into your life, a new partner, a love, those sort of things. Even material things, been trying to manifest perhaps some extra money coming in, or, being able to find a new property or a rental. This is the time when you're actually very good at this. And if this is your energy coming up as the King of Cups, I'm thinking it's very, very possible that you're in that place at the moment, and because of that you're able to manifest things much more easily, Sagittarius, than you normally do. And I feel like it's because you have some sort of balance that you need to make between two things, or a decision that needs to be made from two things that are equally as important. This sometimes talks about heart over head or head over heart decision, and balancing out the two options. It can be, balancing out the options of two people, two loves, two houses, two whatever. But each option is pretty equal. The only thing is with one of these, it is a little bit higher than the other. So you are a little bit more focused on that one because it is just that little bit better. So it will obviously become your choice. But you're making sure that you make the choice very fairly by tossing them both up to make sure that they're, that you haven't missed anything, that you've got it all in the right way. Now, This is very much looking like a money reading here. So here we have the Three of Pentacles, which is talking about, you know, working on something, bringing something together, again with the manifesting, because this also is about manifesting. It's about really looking deep inside yourself about what you want to bring forth, but it's also about working with other people. So you could be doing some work. It could be about work coming in. It could be about looking at what sort of work you want to do. This particular card always has this air of, you know, church, religion, spirituality. So it could be that the business you want to bring into fruition is something of a spiritual nature, because it definitely looks like he's conjuring something up, and it definitely looks very spiritual. So maybe for some of you, this is about having a spiritual business that you want to get off the ground. It could be that whatever you're wishing for or wanting is of a spiritual nature. You might be casting spells in that too. Okay. Now the Knight of Swords comes in here, and the Knight of Swords talks about somebody coming in with a message. It's a message, it's an action card. So it's something that's actually happening, not being thought about. It's not like it's an email. It's an actual, you know, person stepping up here. This morning it has a little bit of a different feel to it. Now, it could be somebody coming in to talk to you about some sort of business proposition here. You know, somebody offering you something to start a business up. Sort of like some guided advice is what I'm looking for. It also feels to me like somebody's coming in to tell you something that may push you forward in this role or this job or this business. It could be somebody offering you something. It doesn't feel like a job offer though. It feels more like advice or insight is what I'm looking for. There's insight being given to you here by somebody. Somebody's offering you something that sort of helps you see your way clearly. So the Karma card here came up in the day read today as well. So Sagittarius, I'm thinking that you've got some sort of karma coming to you too to help you on your way. Look, I feel at the moment you're in a really, really good place to manifest something that you've wanted for a long time. And I feel for a lot of you it's some sort of spiritual business or some sort of spiritual endeavor, enterprise, sort of sabbatical, you know, move forward on something. You know, go on a mission, that type of thing. It feels like something like that's happening here. It definitely has a very spiritual feel. But you've been trying to manifest this for a while, I think. And someone's going to come in to move you forward on your pathway. And this is some sort of karmic journey. Ah, okay. So we have some sort of transformation here. So it's sort of like you're getting some information here that it sort of gives you a bit of an awakening. It's karmic and it sort of gives you a bit of awakening. So if you've been sort of held back in, you know, looking for some way to move forward on something, this isn't love. It's sort of feeling more like life purpose, life path. It feels like someone's going to bump you up on your path here. Somebody's bringing in something. Now, whatever this was keeping you awake at night, worrying about it. Maybe you've tried every way to do it. I mean, we see that here with the guy tossing up. Maybe you've been trying to get something off the ground and it hasn't been maybe fruitful or, you know, moving along. And it's like you're getting some help coming in here. This help that's coming in, it's something to do with, it's something karmic, because it gives you you have an awakening. It's almost like somebody says something that awakens, you know, how you think about doing this, or gives you a new approach. Okay, there's a new approach to something here, some sort of idea that somebody gives you that helps you to move forward. And I feel like you've been really stressing out about not being able to get this going. Okay, so then we have the High Priest or the Hierophant in. So this is about trying to, birth something for the future, so trying to get something to a point of stability so that you can rely on it. You've known that you needed to go in this direction. I feel like this is your calling, your life purpose here. But you just have been really stuck about how to get it off the ground. And I feel like you're going to get some answers here. Now, not only is this very karmic, this sort of has quite almost a religious feel to it. So it could be that somebody has some sort of insight that they're going to give you. Definitely getting it from somebody. It's very, oh, here we go, King of Swords. I'm pretty sure that was the king that came up in the What's Cracking read for today too. So this person could be someone legal. They could be someone that you respect, look up to. They could be, like a business owner that's coming in to give you an offer on how to move your business forward. It could be a relative friend. It could be an Aquarius, Libra or Gemini man or woman. A very strong masculine feel on this though. So I feel like it's somebody that quite possibly you don't know. I don't feel like it's anybody you know, but maybe someone who's seen your potential. And I see this potential here in this Three of Pentacles. And I think you've known that you're missing the mark with whatever you're doing. And someone's about to put you on a pathway that will lead you to understanding what you need to do now. This is a business, definitely about business. It could be work too. It could be that you've, finished some sort of course. You could have just done a degree and not been sure how to use that. And seeing a counsellor and finding direction there. I strongly feel this is about your life purpose, okay? So for me, especially seeing this card here, and the fact you're manifesting this says to me this is something more about life purpose. It's not about love or relationship, although you may find it relates to that. I never sort of say never, but for me here, with this, especially with this transformation, it's almost like somebody says, what you're doing with your business, fantastic, I really like it, I want to back you financially, but have you thought about, taking it on television rather than, using the radio as a medium? Like that type of thing. That's what it feels like to me. But for some people, I feel like it's going on some sort of mission or sabbatical or moving in a direction where it's quite spiritual. So I'm just thinking, maybe you're being given the opportunity to travel with this particular thing that you're passionate about. You're very passionate about this. Okay, so, well, that's an interesting card. That talks about your children in heaven are happy and well. Someone has to hear that. So it's the card of Opal. And it says your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. So I always think when a card comes out and it doesn't fit with the reading, somebody needs to hear that. So somebody has a child that's passed over that needs to know they're safe. So I'll pull you another card for the reading. Interesting read, Sagittarius. Okay. There we go. So Fiona's come out and it says, now that you've asked the angels for help, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance. You deserve heaven's help. So that's why I said to you, I think that the universe is sending someone in to give you a little bit of a boost here. So don't disregard the information you're receiving, because I feel like you've got the right idea, you know what your path is, but you just need that little bit of an awakening to get you in the right direction. Thanks, Sagittarius, and thanks for your likes and your views.